Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you for joining me again at the table of truth. This is the place where we speak about the truth, talk about nothing but the absolute truth. I am Dr. Dani Lee Harris, and again, I thank you for joining me. This video, we're talking about how self-love is the foundation to manifesting your best life. A lot of people are not talking about the basis or the foundation of the manifestation process. I am here to tell you self-love is vital to your manifestation process. So we're going to talk about how do we do that? And are you self-loving or are you people-loving? And there is a difference. People-loving is when you will go out your way, you'll take the shirt off your back, you'll take the shoes off your feet to make sure that somebody else is good. But when it comes to you and your needs, you always put those on the back burner. And we think it's okay because we're being selfless. When it comes to self-love, it's not about selflessness. It's about loving yourself first so that you can be selfless to others. What you're going to give other people in its entirety and in its wholeness is what you give to yourself. So, taking care of your body, your mind, and your spirit is vital to your manifestation process. Everybody's talking about manifestation. I try to stay away from the manifestation of things like money and material things because I have learned and recognized that the material things are material. They don't last. The things that last are our memories. The thing that lasts within us is the things is the moments in which we share with one another, because it is really all about interpersonal communications and personal communications with other people, self-love and loving on other people. So it's important, it's vital that we love ourselves. So how do I take care of my body? For one, you watch what you eat. You watch what you put in your body. Your body performs according to the way that you feed it. If you're sluggish and you're tired all the time and you don't know why you can't seem to have enough energy, especially if you're anywhere like me, when you're getting older in age and you're really watching what you're eating because you're noticing that your body is emitting certain types of energies based on what you're feeding it. So I do watch what I eat. I've cut out certain foods. I've added certain foods. I eat more of certain foods in order to keep my energy up and to make sure that I'm loving on myself. If a doctor came to me right now and said, hey, Danny, I need for you to cut out all of this type of food. For example, let's say fried foods, because you got a blockage in your heart and your heart's going to stop if you don't stop feeding the grease into your body, right? And then I say, all right, cool, doc, I got you. And then I run outside and I go and eat a whole bunch of fried chicken. You know, I might as well just drink a glass of grease because that's what I just did. That's not showing self-love. That's not showing self-appreciation for this body, this human garage that I have been entrusted with, and that my spirit is housed in. I need to love myself enough to say, okay, I need to stop. So when I hear people say, yo, man, God checked them out of here. They gone, and I ask the question of how did they, what did they succumb to or what happened? And I hear things like, man, yeah, they died because they had a massive, heart attack. And, then I know the history of this person, and this is a true story. And I know the history of the person, and I'm like, well, they knew they had issues and they never changed their behaviors. They didn't love themselves, but yet we want to put that on a higher entity or entity outside of ourselves as if we're not free-willed beings. And it's a very important point, and I won't get into that in this video, but we're free-willed beings. So it's cause and effect. What we do, there's an outcome for everything that we do, including what we put in our bodies. And I also hear people say, well, everything's killing us now. Not everything's killing us, but there are some things that we have to be conscious of in order to make sure that we are not just putting any and everything in our bodies, and loving ourselves enough to want to be high in energy, and want to live longer. Now, granted, something can happen to any of us at any given point, and I understand that point. But while I know I'm here, I choose to love myself enough to not do that. All right. Watching what you put in your body is a show of loving yourself. Watching what you do with your body, letting other people abuse your body, whether it's sexually, physically, or anything like that. Now, there is many areas that we can go into when it comes to physical abuse from other people. Because you're now talking about the mental, you're talking about people that's in abusive relationships and things like that. But for the purpose of this video, I want to state and say that if I put myself in a situation, and let's say sexually, where I'm just giving myself to people just because that's what they want and that's what I want at the moment, and not loving myself enough to understand that I'm crossing energies by doing this, then that's on me. And I am swapping energies of other people that I don't necessarily want to be attached to spiritually. So that is for people who are on that quest and understand the importance of watching what you do with your body. It's very, very important that you understand what you do with your body. So I'm not just going to go and lay with just anybody. That's just me. I'm not saying I haven't been down that road in my life before. I'd be lying if I said I didn't. I just learned, and I grew up, and I matured, and I recognize I'm not swapping energies with people just to be doing it for the physical gratification, when to me spiritual is much more long lasting and has its consequences and effects that I don't want to deal with later in my life. That's just me. Also, unwanted pregnancies and doing things that come with a long-term price tag, and I don't mean financially, I mean even emotionally and physically draining. When you say bring kids into the world because you just allowed yourself to go there when you didn't want anything other than that moment, but that moment turned into a lifetime, So just being careful of what you do with your body. That's showing self-love, self-respect. Respect yourself enough to make other people respect you physically. As it comes to emotionally, when people are emotionally in abusive relationships, I recognize and I understand, and that's a whole nother video about how people can trick you into a relationship where you don't see all the early warning signs, or you've turned those red flags yellow and sometimes green to justify certain types of behaviors, or not even understanding what the behaviors of an abusive relationship looks like. But when you find yourself in one, sometimes it's very difficult to get out of one. And I'm not here to beat anybody over the head that may be in a abusive relationship, but the first sign of understanding self-love is to understand that, okay, I'm in an abusive relationship and I don't want this anymore. And then there are other steps that you would have to take in order to get away from that situation safely. And I recognize that. But understand that you love yourself enough to not want to live in an abusive situation. And an abuse is not only physical, it's mental, it's financial, it is emotional abuse, and understanding the what that looks like. And growing up in a household where, and I watched my dad slice my mom's neck from ear to ear in front of me, I recognized that, I don't want to live my life in an abusive, physically abusive, or emotionally abusive relationship. So over time and over years, I've learned to see what those warning signs are. And even with me knowing the warning signs doesn't mean I wasn't in an emotionally abusive relationship after that. I was. But I learned how to love myself enough to remove myself from that situation. So again, loving yourself physically, and then loving yourself mentally. And mentally is when you watch what you're reading, watch what you're watching on the television, which is telling lies visually. Watch what you're inputting into your mental, knowing and understanding the signs that make you move you from your place of peace. If I watch the news, for example, it moves me from my place of peace. So I don't watch the news. It is safe for me mentally to not watch the news. So I don't watch the news. I don't want to get down. I don't want to get depressed. I don't want to do that. It's like being able to understand that if I'm really, really down, I, Dani, don't need to drink. Because why? Drinking is a depressant. And when I'm really, really down about anything, which has not been for quite some time, I might say, I've changed that aspect of my life. But if I was in the past, when I have been down about something, or really, really in my feelings about something that's going on in my life, the worst thing for me to do is drink, because it messes with my mental. It makes me more upset. If I was in a depressive state, it'll make me more depressed. And if I'm in a suicidal state, it'll make me suicidal for real. Like, for real, suicidal. Like, okay, I thought about it, but now I'm actually taking physical steps to do it, So being able to be mature enough to understand what triggers you, and know and love yourself enough to say, I'm not going to put myself in those situations. So that is the mental. Reading good books. I like to read spiritual, inspirational stuff, and really good books, dramas, really good dramas and stuff like that. It just keeps me at my place of peace mentally. So that's what I do to help and assist my mental. But I watch Gaia videos. If you haven't gotten on Gaia, I am shouting out Gaia, spiritual website, and they have really good movies. It's awesome. But I watch Gaia videos. It uplifts me. I'll listen to some great music, some inspiring, uplifting music. These are the things that I do to keep my mental in a place of peace for me. All right. And spiritually, I meditate. I love myself enough to meditate, clear my mind, clear my path, and also get the answers to my life, because that's what happens when you meditate. You're clearing all the clutter, because the clutter is all the way up here. And in order to clear all the clutter up here, you got to decompress. And you do that by meditating. Meditating is clearing your thoughts. I'm opening up my third eye. I'm doing this to stay right where I need to be in this moment of nothingness. And nothingness is what I go for. So in order for me to manifest my best life, for example, I love myself. And I came out of this is a true story. I came out of a relationship. Well, I was left, to be honest. So I was in this relationship, and they left me, right? Just one day, just left. Look, I'm not coming back, kind of thing. And I fell into this really bad state of being mentally. I was really messed up mentally. I was just like, I was good to this woman. I did everything. I did this. I did that. I poured into this. I paid for that. I started this. I gave her a car. I was on that path, and I had to stop. And really center myself. And the only way that I was able to do that was to clear my mind mentally, and put everything into perspective, and say, they left for whatever reason, but there's a bigger purpose here. And I promise you guys, in walks the woman of my dreams. I couldn't ask for a better person to ride life out with. My rider, my queen, she is amazing, and she just said yes, she will marry me. I just proposed to her last week, and I'm super excited about that, because it was a long, hard road for me to get in my life to in a place where I'm able to receive a blessing such as her. This queen is everything that I have poured into people. But the reason why she came in, and my point in saying all of that is, the reason why she came in is because I was ready. I started to love Dani. Before she entered, I was loving me. I was going and spending time with me. I was taking myself to the movies. I was, giving myself, just time with Dani, loving on myself, doing the things I like to do, fishing, bowling, playing pool, whatever it was that I like to do, that I enjoy. I just started to pour into Dani. But I started to love myself. I stopped beating myself up for my mistakes in the past. And in walks in this queen. But I was ready. I was ready because I was taking care of my mental, my physical, and my spiritual at the same time. And I did manifest the person of my dreams, the woman of my dreams. And, they say that there's nobody perfect, but truthfully, this woman is perfect for me. Absolutely. Flaws and all. I extremely ecstatic about our union, and about the fact that she helps me to be the best version of myself, as I help her to develop into the best version of herself. So it is it's been it's actually 2.5 years now, and I just can't wait to just ride out the rest of life with her, because it's just been that wonderful. And I never thought that love could feel this good, but I recognize now I wouldn't have gotten that if I didn't understand what loving Dani looked like and was. So the beginning of manifesting your best life, people, love yourself. Love yourself. Anything that you would do for anybody else, start doing for yourself. Spend time with yourself. You go on date nights with your partner, go on date nights with yourself. You take the kids out to have fun, take yourself out and have fun. You go on trips with other people, take a trip by yourself. Anything you do for anybody else, you take care of your health, you take care of the health of your kids because you worry about their future, take care of your health. You watch what your children eat, watch what you eat. These are the things that we need to do. Hey, if you like this video, guys, please like, subscribe, send your friends over and watch these videos as we transform our personal, internal selves so that we can live our best life. Again, you've been listening to Dr. Dani Lee Harris. I am the Truth Whisperer, and I'll see you on the next video.